And layers and layers and layers, and now it doesn't look like a Cheetos box anymore. But I'm gonna let it dry and work on the signatures. I'm gonna make my signatures out of envelopes, but I need to distress them first. Okay, now all of my envelopes are distressed. So what I'm gonna do to make my pages is flip one of them over and then kind of have one of them face up, one of them face down, and then slide the flaps into each other. And that will hide it on both sides. You can see the flaps in there, and now we have our signature. So all we have to do is stack these up. I want to make sure, oh no, it's falling apart. I want to make sure they're all going the right way, or the same way. Not that it really matters. I think having them go different directions would be more fun, but I want them to go all the same way for this one. Cool. So we just stack them on top of each other, and now we have our signature. So I'm just gonna take this to my sewing machine and sew right down the center, right down this line on both of my signatures. So I just have my envelope stacks, and I'm gonna fold it in half and sew right down, and that's gonna secure everything and nothing will fall apart anymore. So let's go over to the sewing machine really fast. I'm just gonna do a straight stitch right down the center. So right in the center of the spine. Hopefully get all of those flaps together. Cool, now they are all secure and nothing is going anywhere. That's awesome. Cool. So let me do this other signature. Again, I've got my stack of envelopes. They're all tucked and layered and stacked. And I'm just gonna go straight down the center, stitch in the ditch. I've got two signatures all sewn together and ready to go into the book. I'm using papers from this Backyard Table paper pad by Recollections, and I like it because it's got like gold foil on it. So I cut apart a bunch of the different cut apart pieces, and I'm gonna distress them and add stitching to make them a little bit more interesting. I'm just gonna add some stitching to these now that they are all distressed. Make them more interesting looking. all of my little pieces are distressed and stitched. I just stitched them randomly and with a zigzag stitch mostly, and I'm gonna decorate my envelope signatures. Normally I would put my signatures in the cover first, but I'm still waiting for the cover to dry and I still want to decorate the cover, and I don't plan on doing that much decorating, so I'm just going to glue down these embellishment pieces on our envelopes. This is our first page, and this is our first signature, second signature, so I kind of want to have it with this one. Since I have two of the same ones, I want them at the front and the back, and I want to write on one of them saying like a letter to my grandma, because that's who this book is for, and then she can write on the back one if she wants to. So I know that, but I don't know where the rest of these pieces are going to go, so I'm just going to turn on some music and start decorating. A little bit hanging off the edge all the way around my cover so that I could fold it over on the inside. So I'm just going to glue it down and fold it over, and then I can put my inside cover paper over it, and it gives me a nice edge and reinforces the Cheez-It box. Decorated the cover and added some stitching. The cover is all done and stitched. Now I'm just gonna use this wallpaper on the inside. Ooh, this one fits perfectly. Nice. I cut a piece that fits exactly inside the cover with like a little teeny perfect border all the way around. So I'm just going to adhere it, and that's going to be our inside cover page. Then we can add our signatures. So I'm just going to use my tape runner and put glue everywhere. Like, use a whole tape runner on this pretty much. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Not perfect, but not bad. And I'm gonna go around and stitch now around the whole thing and distress around the inside cover as well with my distressing. Now that my cover's done and the inside cover is done, I'm just gonna add my signatures. So I'm gonna start with a template just so I punch all the holes in the same spot. You don't have to do this. I am just not very good at eyeballing it, so they always turn out wonky. So now that I have a piece that's the same height as my signature, I'm just going to fold it in half to find the center. Now we have our midpoint. I folded each piece into the center, or you can just fold it in half and fold it in half again. There we go. We have our 3 folds. They're all the same distance apart. And just to put this in the center, I'm gonna fold it in half lengthwise and grab a push pin. Here we go, here's my template. So I'm gonna go to the middle of my signature, which is right here. Beautiful. And put my template and mark my holes. Where did my push pin go? I just had it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna mark my holes. Cool, so this signature has the holes, and now I just need to put them on the actual book cover so that we can attach the signatures to the cover, and we'll be pretty much done. Perfect. Bind the signature into the book, and I'm starting in the center with the center hole that we did in the template, like in our signature, with the template through the signature and through the cover of the book, starting on the inside and pulling it through, but you don't want to pull it all the way through, so I like to hold on to the little tail there and then go from the outside in and then line up the holes. This is gonna be tricky because the camera's in the way. There we go. And pull it through with no knots. but not all the way through. You want to leave a little bit here so you can tie it off. And then I usually go back through the center, I think. Right out the same hole. And then up through the top. Make sure you're pretty tight along the way. And then I tie this in the center. And the signatures are machine stitched together. I don't know if you can tell that on the video, but you saw me do it. You saw me machine stitch it. So this embroidery thread is just attaching the signature to the cover. And I like to pull lengthwise, and it makes it nice and tight. And now our signature is in there. I'm just gonna trim off this excess twine. Cool. Let's do our second signature. So now both of our signatures are in the book. We're pretty much done. Look at that. How cute. Love it. Not super even, but whatever. I'm gonna put a charm right here that will hide that they're not evenly spaced, but it's handmade, so it doesn't matter. Okay, to put the charm, I'm going to open this up flat and find the center of the spine and just put an eyelet with the crocodile. I think that's what this is called. Making sure not to go on my signatures. I want to go deep enough down. Punch a little hole, and then I can use this eyelet setter to make a nice finished product right here. And I can add pretty charms to this, and since I have that glitter washi tape on the front cover, I think I can add like some more bling, and it will look so cool. There we go, nice finished eyelet that I can add a charm to. So I'm using this like faux silk ribbon that I got at the dollar store, and I used it on the charm, which I'm just getting started. So I started with a ring. I wrapped the ribbon through it, and then I made a little tassel with some embroidery floss that was left over from the spine. So I'm still gonna add some bling to it, and I also used the ribbon over here to close the book. So I have an eyelet on the front and the back, and then I just tied it into a bow. And it's so cute. So here's the journal pretty much done. I have the charms on the side, and this is just an old earring, like a dangle earring. And I just added some wood beads and tied a knot and tied a bow so that the book can close. And that's the whole book. This is how it came together. Pretty fast. And I hope she enjoys it.